Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Welcome to this short but hopefully informative webinar. Over the next half an hour, we'll take you through the customer portals that we have available to you. Prior to that, just a little bit of housekeeping. We have got the Q&A function set up, and my colleague Sarah is going to be monitoring that throughout the webinar. So if you do have any questions, then please put them up there. You can also email us at the email address that's pinned to the top of the Q&A bar, which is customercare@Managed Water Services, if you wanted to email us a bit later. And also there's always your account manager who you can contact if you have any questions, and they'll be happy to help you. So the objective today is to show you what the portals can do and how they can help us to manage our water systems safely and effectively. So the first 10 minutes or so, I'm going to focus on the portal that stores all of your paperwork, and then we'll move on to the temperature data portal. Now, some of you may not be familiar with that temperature data portal, but you're more than welcome to stay on, and you can see what it's all about. There's been lots of talk recently about remote monitoring of water systems, which is what our temperature portal does. So you'll be able to stay on to take a look at that. So without any further delay, I'll go straight into the portal and give you a tour. So I'm going to all these are accessible from our website. So if you go to our website, on the home page at the top, you've got these two buttons: remote monitoring and customer portal. I'm going to set and go into the customer portal, which is the screen exactly the same screen that you will see, and I'll enter my details. Now we have a demo site set up on our system called Outdoor Adventure, which is going to look exactly the same as the experience that you have when you log in. But this is the site that we have for demonstration purposes, and we also have it for testing purposes as well. So this is the one that I'm going to show you and walk you through today. So this is the homepage. This is what you'll first see. If you have responsibility for multiple sites, then they will be listed here. But for today's example, I'm just going to show you this with one site on it. If you think you should have access to other sites, so you'll have some sort of responsibility for multiple sites, then please let us know, and we can look into that and arrange access if it's appropriate. But the majority of you will have access to one site, the majority of the people that I'm talking to today. So I'm going to take you through the tabs at the top of the page here, just to show you the information contained within and how you can view it. So I'll start with visits. So here we have a list of every single visit that's associated with your site. I can have different views of this, so I can change it to all completed visits or all open visits. And if I look at the the columns along the top, I can also organize it by visit type, visit number. There is also a search function. So if I do know the visit number reference, I can put that into there, and then it will bring up that associated visit. Now, just on visit reports, I just wanted to take you into a visit report and show you the information that is on there. So I'm going to use this one as an example. So this is what that first page looks like if you click on that visit. So it has all the information. But essentially what I think you're probably going to want to do at this stage is to look at the report itself. So if you click on this button here, view, then it will bring up a copy of that visit report associated with the visit to your site. There's a couple of bits on here that you probably need to look at regularly. The first one would be the site contacts. So this lists everyone who's associated with the site in question, what their title is and what their contact details are. We go through a process annually whereby we send out to you this information, and we call it the responsibility review, to make sure that it is still relevant and up to date. But I would definitely recommend just checking that information just to make sure that there's no one on there who's potentially left the business or has a different role in the business and hasn't got any responsibility for water anymore. The visit report, if you go down to the second page, then it has the tasks that will have been carried out associated with that visit and a visit summary. What the visit report also contains, which is quite important, is these, which are the outstanding actions for your site. So anything that's outstanding for this site will be listed here. As you can see, there are 3 actions outstanding with this demonstration report, all allocated to me, and I'll come back to those in a second. And then also at the back of the report, there'll be some supporting photographs of anything that we've found. So that's a visit report, and that's where you'll find all of your visits listed. And that's where you'll find all your visit system. The next tab I'm going to go on to is actions, which is probably the most important one, because if we find anything wrong when we're carrying out one of our routine visits, then we'll create an action for that. And it could be an action that's allocated to someone within MWS, or it could be an action that needs to be carried out by someone on site. And again, with the actions, I've got this set to open actions at the moment, but again, with the actions, I can filter it so it shows all actions associated with the site. I can get it so it shows my actions, but at the moment, I'm just going to focus on the open actions, the 3 that were on that visit report that we just saw, and open this one up and take you through what needs to be done when there's an action allocated to you. So this action has asked us to request for a boiler engineer to attend site to look into why the hot water clarifier in the kitchen block isn't working. The temperature recorded today at 40 degrees C. We need to repair it and ensure hot water is stored at 60 degrees C and recirculating at 50 degrees C. Now that could be something that's done very quickly. You could pick up the phone to your other contractor and get them, and they may come in straight away, in which case that would be very easy to do. You could say the date for completion is today, and you can change the status to complete. If you wanted to on there, you could put any other comments, such as the contractor who carried out the works, and then click save, and that will mark as complete. But sometimes things don't go that smoothly, in which case it may be worth just keeping the action updated as you go along and try to resolve it. So you can, in this facility in the top right hand corner here, put some information in, such as phoned boiler engineer and he will send site. And then that will be listed against that action just to show you are on top of it and you are managing it. Let me just delete that. But in this case, I will say that this action has been complete. It's been completed today. Click save. And then if I go back to my actions, I can see that I've now only got 2 actions because that one has been completed off. Quotes. If I come on to quotes, this tab shows all quotes that have been sent over to you. I've got it clicked at the moment on open quotes, but again, I can change it so I can have it on all quotes that have been sent over, and whether or not they be open or declined or not proceeding. So that's quite useful if there are any open quotes. Having said that about the quotes, they are emailed to you separately as well. So they'll probably be in your email inbox. And then the last tab, which is quite useful, is the correspondence tab. So this part of the portal lists every email that we have sent you connected to water system safety. So we have a function in our email software that allows us to copy in the information to this customer portal. So everything we sent you is stored here. So if you didn't want to trawl through your deleted items or inbox looking for an email from us, then this is going to be a good place for you to find it. There's a couple of documents here at the top, which will always be here. That's one of them is our current certificate for the Legionella Control Association. And the other one is our code of practice document, which details how we recommend that the systems on your site are operated. So that's the customer portal. Now, there is a link from the website that takes you to the remote monitoring portal. There is also a link from this customer portal that takes you to the remote monitoring data. And again, this will be exactly the same screen that you will see. And I have a demonstration site set up here that I can take you through. So the first screen you see is known as the dashboard. So dashboard will show you all the sites that you have access to. So again, if you think you should be seeing more sites than you can see on that screen, then you can get in touch with us and we can change that if that is the case. But at the top here, we have these different graphics relating to hardware information and then some graphics relating to risk information. So the first one I'll look at is the one relating to hardware information. So this shows us all the hardware that we have on the site and the current status. So as you can see, the hardware that we have here is all online and working and giving us the information that we need. Over on the left-hand side, we have the risk information. So the risk information gives me a summary of low, medium, and high risk assets. So if I was to click on this green part of the widget, sorry, there we go. If I was to click on the low, then it's going to give me the 3 locations that have low risks associated. But I don't really want to know about the stuff that is working well. I want to know about the stuff that isn't working so well. So I'm going to click through onto my medium risk assets, and I can see here that I've got these points that are showing up as medium risk, and then I can click through and I can see the information associated with this asset as to why it's making it a medium risk. Okay, so I can see here that the cold outlet is not being flushed enough or for long enough to ensure that the target temperature has been hit. As you can see, there looks like there's one green dot there where we've got below 20 degrees C on the cold water temperature. So that's classifying that as a medium risk outlet at the moment. And then if I go to the other ones, I've got the plant room. I can see that kitchen chlorifier 1 is currently coming up as medium risk. And the reason it's coming up as medium risk is because the hot water is not being stored at the target temperature for long enough. So we're persistently dipping below 60 degrees C. And I can see that's classified as a medium risk. So then that will allow me to do something about that and make adjustments to that chlorifier. Now, there's quite a lot of data contained in that. So what I can do is I can reduce the timescale or the window of data that I needed. So at the moment, that is showing the data for the whole month so far. And I can go back and I can look at September's data, August data, etc. But what I want to do is see how this piece of plant is operating over the period of a week. So if I click on filters, then I can select the dates that I want to look at. So if I look here now, I can see the temperature data associated with this hot water storage vessel over the period of a week, which gives me some better information, but I may want to drill down more than that. So I can set it to give me the temperature information for just one day. So I can see that over the period of a day, overnight, when there's not any people in the building, the chlorifier is slightly warmer, but during the day, when the building is in use, the chlorifier simply isn't keeping up and it's not at target temperature. So that's able to give me some really good information so I can make the necessary tweaks, adjustments and maintenance if I needed to make sure that that is hitting target temperature. Weeks worth of data, days worth of data. So the other thing I wanted to show you was the reports. So if you click on this reports tab here, this gives you a weekly and a monthly report of how your system has performed. And it will automatically download that report and it will give you a summary of the low, medium and high risk temperature points and how we come to those calculations for each one of your assets. So that's a weekly one, and this one is a monthly report. So it's how the system has performed over the month. That is the second part of the webinar with regard to the temperature monitoring portal done. I don't know if any questions have come through, Sarah.
No, I think you've covered things so well. No one's had any questions to raise so far. Maybe just worth quickly going back on that customer portal for a 30-second overview in case anybody missed the start. And if it does trigger people to ask any questions, they can throw them in the Q&As now or send us an email afterwards to customercare@managedwaterservices.co.uk.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I'll just, if there was anyone who joined slightly late, I'll just recap on the customer portal side again. So when you log into the customer portal, which would be exactly the same process as I've just gone through, and you'll see exactly the same screen, you'll have your site listed here, or if you are responsible, you'll see multiple sites there. For this demonstration, we've just got this one site visible, which is our demonstration. And then I can click through on the tabs at the top to show me any visits that are associated with my sites. And I can change the view on that so I can just see open visits, or all completed visits, and I can do a search. So if I do know the visit number, I can do a search on that, and it will bring up just that visit report, as you can see there, and then you can click on that visit number and then click view report, and then that will take you through to the screen where you can see the report that's been produced on the back of that visit. Actions. So actions are for things that we find wrong with the system or things that need addressing. So we create an action if that is the case. Some actions may be allocated to people within MWS. Some actions may be allocated to people within your organization. If you do have an action allocated to you, then you can log onto the portal. You can take a look at what that action is, and then you can, if you do the remedial work that's required, you can close that action off. And you can do the date that you did it. If it's not something that can be completed immediately and it does need some extra work, then you can put an update on here to then you can put an update on there. So if you needed to, you had an audit trail. If someone was to question why it took so long to cover off an action. Then the quotes tab. The quotes tab shows every quote that we've provided you with, and again I can change that to accepted quotes, all quotes, or open quotes. And then this last tab, correspondence. So this is all the correspondence that we have with you via email. It's all copied to the customer portal. So you can easily find an email that's been sent to you by one of our team.
Yep, we've had a question on visits asking if it shows all planned future visits and how far in the future they are. So if you have a contract with us, Legionella Control or plant servicing, all the visits to the end of that contract will be on there. So for the rest of that 12-month period, or any planned visits for remedial work, tank cleans and stuff like that, they should be on there. So if we don't typically have more than a 12-month contract, but if we did have a longer arrangement with you, then those future visits would be in there. Into the future, the dates might not be exactly right. Sometimes we'll have them set up and then they'll be planned for a specific date nearer the time once we know our resources at the time.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. Thanks for that question as well, by the way. Okay, so if there is anything else you think of after we finish today, then please do drop us an email, customercare@managedwaterservices. There will be a recording of this webinar available. So if there's anyone else in your organization who you think would benefit or that you wanted to refresh your knowledge, then we'll make that available to you as well. We're always here to help by email or on the phone. So please do drop us a line and let us know what we can do. It is Friday, so I hope this afternoon goes smoothly for you and there's no dramas and you are able to have some downtime over the weekend. But in the meantime, thank you very much for your time, and we'll end up speaking soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye now.